Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. There was some encouraging news last night coming out of COP29. I'm not sure if everybody read the media release from the UK government, but it talks about a new deal being signed to speed up advanced nuclear technologies. That sounds pretty good, Mr Speaker. In the media release, it talks about the importance of nuclear energy to speed up the deployment of cutting-edge technology to decarbonise industry and boost energy security. And here's the best thing of the lot, the last paragraph. For those who haven't read it, the new agreement will come into force from 1 March 2025 and is expected to also be signed by Canada, France, Japan, Republic of Korea, Republic of South Africa, China, Euratom, Switzerland, and I'm not sure if I can do a drum roll, can I, Mr Speaker? Australia. How good is that? Congratulations to the Albanese Labor government for committing to sign a deal for nuclear energy with our AUKUS allies and a string of other nations. Isn't that fantastic, Mr Speaker? You see, I think the Albanese government have come to the realisation that when it comes to a decarbonised electricity grid, history shows that 5 of the 10 fastest decarbonisations in history come from nuclear energy. I think the Albanese government have realised that, with the exception of Australia, all advanced economies in the G20 either use nuclear energy today or they are moving towards it. I think they have come to realise that all the major banks in the world are now out there seeking deals to back in to finance nuclear energy plants. I think maybe they found out that the biggest tech companies, whether it be Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they're all looking to nuclear energy to power their future. And so I got excited, you see, because I thought, indeed, we've signed a deal to join the rest of the world when it comes to nuclear energy. But then I felt a bit sad. I did. I felt a bit sad. I felt sad because the government seems to have changed its mind. The government has put out a set of comments in response to The Guardian, and The Guardian asked the government, in quotes, to please explain. And the government says, no, Australia is not signing this agreement, as we do not have a nuclear energy industry. It goes on to say, we will not be signing up to this agreement. You know, this is extraordinary, because you would think, when we're talking about pulling out of a deal that's just been announced by the UK government in one of their media releases, either the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, or at the very least the Climate Change and Energy Minister would come out and make a statement. But true to form, true to the cowardly, weak performance of the Albanese government, guess who made this announcement on behalf of the Albanese government? A spokesperson. Oh, the spokesperson made it. Oh, that mystery person. When something tough has to be said from the Albanese government, out comes that mystery person, the spokesperson. Seriously. But here's the most, or let's say the second most concerning piece of the information that came out from the Albanese government. The first, of course, being that they are now pulling out of this agreement. But they talk about Australia through ANSTO, the Australian Nuclear Science and Technology Organisation, Australia's engagement through the Gen 4 International Forum, which is an international forum that looks at advanced nuclear technologies. They refer to Australia now having observer status. Now, where this is important is Australia has not been an observer. No. This international forum Australia has had full membership. And we find out from the mystery spokesperson that Australia's role in this international forum, since 2017, by the way, has now been demoted. What country demotes its own status in an international agreement, in an international forum? The Albanese government has. From membership status to observer status. So I thought I'd better check out what's this about, and I did. I went to the Gen 4 International Forum's annual report of 2023, and it's very clear in here because it says Australia is a member. And it makes it very clear. I mean, the first paragraph under Appendix 1 says Australia continues to be a committed and cooperative member of the Generation 4 International Forum. You know what else it says about the Australian government's view on nuclear? Nuclear energy, no less. It says about the Australian government continues to recognise that nuclear energy is a mature technology, delivers reliable electricity, has zero greenhouse gas emissions, has low life cycle emissions, higher standards of safeguards, safety and security. Aha! And I'll take the interjection from the Assistant Minister. You can always sniff a rat when the socialist left from Labor starts sounding like economic rationalists. Now the argument from Labor is, oh yes, nuclear energy, tick, 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 but the economics doesn't stack up. And so you can just imagine when the Prime Minister was over there meeting with President Biden, of course he was explaining the economics don't stack up to the US's plan to sign this agreement. I'm sure he said the same to Chinese President Xi Jinping. I'm sure he said the same to Prime Minister Starmer from the UK, showing him those intelligent memes from the Labor Party to demonstrate the economics do not stack up for nuclear energy. The Climate Change and Energy Minister has been on record many a time suggesting that the real cost of Labor's plan to deliver a net zero electricity grid is $122 billion. $122 billion. Now, when you're looking at the pathway to a net zero electricity grid, you have to compare one pathway to another, and we will be showing all the economics before this next election. So the Frontier Economics team, before the member leaves after having a giggle, listen to this one. Listen to this one. The Frontier Economics team, an independent body, costed Labor's plan. Did it cost $122 billion? I give it to you once, twice. Are you going to interject? No, he doesn't. Guess how much it really costs? $642 billion. Now, guess how many times more expensive that is than what the minister had told us? 5 times more expensive. That's how much, before you leave the chamber there, 5 times more expensive is what your minister told you and the rest of Australia, which is not true.
Seconds left. Go for it.
So let me, in my 35 seconds, point out some of the reasons why it's 5 times more expensive. Firstly, hidden costs for transmission lines, $62 billion. The current asset base is $26 billion. They're going to add another $62 billion they haven't told the Australian people. They have a shadow carbon price. $70 it's worth now. Remember, Gillard introduced it at $24. It's going to be over $400 by 2050. This is the secret cost of their plan, and this is why it's going to be a complete disaster under this Albanese government. Tell the truth, I ask
Time
the Assistant
has expired,
Minister.
and I give the call to the Assistant Minister for Climate Change and Energy.